Really don't need to, that these fish are our friends.
Yes. Yeah.
And we don't need to decide a tournament victory by killing them. And I'm going to follow through more and more and more on that, but I ended on that note rather than...
Love fishing. I love watching, I love being out there and I love seeing the fish, being caught. But something that I will never do, Bart, is be on a boat where I know the gaff will come out and a healthy fish is just going to be killed for the sake of a photo. I can't be there.
You've evolved during a generation that understands that. I came from a generation where they brought ice to your house and milk and bread and stuff like that.
I did that too.
And fish people caught didn't always go in the frying pan. They were pulled out of the water and left on the beach or left in a creek to flip-flop and die and be eaten by other animals or flies or worms. And strings of bass and just to take a picture and then forget it. So we have had to progress. We can't do that kind of thing anymore like we did. This world has changed any more than we can think we can all live on fish and chicken and beef. And it's changing too. Sorry to say.
I can't persuade people that this is the direction we should go in, but all I can do is just put it out there that...
You put it out there and you teach your children. They're
Exactly.
the ones that carry the ball.
Have you heard of the film The End of the Line?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it. It's scary, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's true. It says it all.
Yeah, it does.
And it is the end of the line. People doing that are not with the times. If anything, don't understand the fishing they profess to be part of and to sponsor, and they're so proud of the money they give out and all that. They should have enough sense to realize you don't kill the goose that laid the golden egg. What's already being done is enough, even with the best of intentions. Go out and look at these so-called videos, and they're releasing fish after fish after fish, killing some, but most of the ones are, because it's not popular, they're showing releases. I'll show you men at random. We can pick any video out of the case you want, put it on, and the chances are within 3 minutes or less I'll be able to show you multiple fish that are dying because of the way they're handled and released.
Oh, okay.
They're killing them on leader, they're killing them with the boat and the rods and the reels. The trick is to get close as you can with the fish all lively rather than to tire them out and then put a big strong guy and then hang on and roll them over to where they're just like a kitten, taking a great creature like that and then turning them loose. He's shark bait. Predators feel that. That's a jungle, an underwater jungle. They feel that for miles. It's their duty to strike at the injured. They'll find them and they'll devour them. And that injuries don't go away quick. Let me take any athlete, any person, and put them through life-threatening, vigorous exercise to where they can't, till they're so tired that they're totally whipped and they're left crawling. Then release them.
Not going anywhere.
Or do it in a movie theater. We'll go into a movie theater, just beat the shit out of everybody. But we won't kill them. And then we open up and they can go home whenever they want. Some will go home right away. Some will go home in an ambulance. Some will be helped home. Some will have to stay because they're too weak to get out. Many, for weeks, days, or months, or a lifetime, will suffer ailments from that beating, both in muscle damage, nerve damage, and the list goes on and on and on. This is not the way to handle a fish. This is not the way to release a fish. The sport has got to change. The right way, if it's even right at all, which I'm not sure it is right, is to play, let the fish jump around a little bit, play with them, but have a certain limited time, get as close as you can, or have a line that you can break whenever you want, or a hook, better yet, that you can straighten out. By putting X number of pounds of pressure, that hook just goes like that, and now you don't have any leader out there, you don't have any connection, he's free. And he's still got enough life to recover. An athlete can recover from a brisk workout, but he can't really recover from a vicious beating. Vicious beating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what which is being inflicted upon these poor creatures. The solution will be the hook that opens up. Peter Piccolo is the one that came up with that idea. Years past. And I've tried to stretch my imagination beyond that, but I don't think it is. It's the one link between the man, the boat, the fish, the connection. The better off the fish is you being able to release it at any moment that you can. That would allow almost a choice of time of release. Then I believe, besides the hook, you're going to have to enter into time. All sports have a time limit. Tennis, golf, basketball, baseball, football. They all have a time limit.
Yeah.
And they're not all life and death, if any, and none. Sports. This is a life, in essence, is a life and death situation in a sport. More consideration than ever should be applied. If they're so concerned about the football player's helmet and padding and this and that, or a boxer, or any other sport that's damaging to the body, then the least we can show that kind of interest and technology toward the fish. So there'd be a time limit, there'd be a hook that could be straightened out. And so what if you're every baseball pitch called by the umpire is not a correct call. Every football play called by the whatever they are is not a correct call. And nor will every call made in the judging of winning fish be the correct call. But you make it to where it's reasonable, as professional as possible.
Yeah.
And you apply that type of thinking for the betterment of the sport, betterment of the fish. But number one, the fish.
Absolutely.
You can't just go on this way.
No.
I fished that tournament, mainly because I'm addicted to competing. Even at 75 years old, I can't help myself. I want to. I need the rest. I don't need to be walking around at midnight or 2 in the morning or getting on and off boats, especially in the humiliating manner of which David Brackman and others just lift me up and throw me on. I'm slowing them down. But I go and I have to go.
So what's...
I realized, I said, my God, I'm going to go, but this time with a real purpose. And when I got that winning, that satisfied me more than anything I can ever tell you. But forget me. The important is, I realized that I have a voice. So it's not unimportant whether I went fishing had any success or no success. What is important is I have that voice. People will listen, and I can take that spot if I handle it diplomatically and feed this type of information we're discussing right now to others. Someone will, others will follow through. Hopefully, I believe they will.
Yeah. Eventually, if enough people follow through, the message will be coming through a lot louder and a lot clearer.
It's done locally with our fish here in Florida, the snook, the redfish, and stuff out of Texas. And of course, those are much smaller fish, more easily managed. But these are great fish. The problem is grander because of the size. But it's not impossible, far from impossible. If these stupid little reels can catch these giant fish, then we have more than enough technology that we're bent. That's part of the solution. Getting the mind in the right place, getting the tackle in the right place, getting the support of the team, just essentially an understanding that what's right for the fish.
What excites you coming up in the future?
Well, what excites me about the future, which I just was part of in this tournament, is a concept that I've been getting closer to for years without fully realizing just how close I actually am. And as of the last 2 years, I've had my finger on an idea that's becoming ever more clear to me that it truly does work. When you test things, it's not enough to be lucky once or twice. Not even once in a year of study is enough, maybe not even 2 years, but years of study. This has been ongoing in part for a long enough time to where I can call it scientifically sound. And this new concept has been right there at my fingertips, but I didn't realize fully how to apply it, and I do now. And it gives more exciting fishing, dramatic edge to the fisherman, and will be the way of the new style of lure fishing.
And when
the spread is different in that the lures are different, the speed is a little different, the hook arrangements are different. It's a modification of everything that's old put into what's new and better.
When do you think the sport fishing public can expect to see more details?
Question. After I pay for my house and my cars and my kids' cars and have a party and a few things like that. No, sooner than that.
Okay.
When the bills are paid.
I'm going to stop there. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bart.